How's it going, everyone? I have a friend who's going to run his first 100 miler. So I started making a list of tips and tricks, and I thought this is a perfect opportunity to make a video for all the other runners who want to dive into the longer distance. So if you made it to this video, you probably already heard podcast and other videos saying don't go out too fast, know the trail, taper down before the race, know your nutrition. So I might touch on a couple of those things, but hopefully there's some other gems in here that you haven't heard that you can implement in your training. So I am not a pro, I am not a coach, I am your average middle of the pack runner, and I've completed 9 100 milers and I've DNF'd 3 100 milers. So this is coming from someone who's pretty new to running. I've been doing this for 3 years, but I still feel I might have some things I can share with you that can help you get to the finish line. So let's start out with tip number 1. All right, so our first tip is all about the feet. So I highly recommend a little first aid kit with needles and bandages in all of your drop bags. That way, if a blister does come up or something you need to take care of, you will have everything you need to take care of it. Now, when it comes to preventing blisters, you can use Trail Toes or Squirrel's Nut Butter. I personally use Trail Toes. You can use whatever you want, but I also use toe socks. So I take toe socks, and something I like to do, which another runner told me about, is they will take their toe socks and they'll take Trail Toes and they will lather Trail Toes all over their socks. They will then put their socks in a bag and they will do this the night before the race. So it's almost like my socks are marinating in lube overnight, and then when the race morning comes, I still put Trail Toes on my toes and all over my feet, and then I'll put these socks on. And since I've started doing that, I have had so few blisters. It's really helped me. So that might be something that you can try on your next long run before a big race. All right, tip number 2 is all about lights. So I struggle running through the night. A lot of people do. So I do have my Kogalla light that I will throw in a drop bag. So maybe from that 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. time frame, I'll need the Kogalla light because these really do light up the trails, but they are quite pricey. One thing I do highly recommend is that you keep backup lights in your bag at all times. So I work for Jasco, the company that makes these. So this isn't a endorsement by them, but I love these Enbrighten lights because you can put it on your head. You can rotate this around and it stays put, and then you've got all your different lighting options. And I can actually stretch this out and put it around my waist. So I actually have a waistband too. So I'll put the link in the video for these if you want to check these out. But any kind of lights will do. Just always keep 2 in your bag. And I always say 2 because you never know when a battery's going to be bad or battery runs out. And you can also be a trail angel. There's so many races where I've came across people and their battery runs out on their lamp and they're running with their phone trying to guide their way. And then I got 2 of these in my bag. I'm going to give them one. This is under $10 on Amazon. So it's not going to kill me to give one of these away and maybe save someone's race. So I highly recommend finding what lights work for you and always keeping 2 in your bag and then an extra in each drop bag because you never know when you're going to need them. My first 100K, I actually ran without lights and I made it to the nighttime and it was absolutely terrible. And a person at an aid station gave me their headlamp to make it through to the finish line. Ever since then, 2 lights in the bag at all times. All right, everyone. Tip number 3 is interval time training. So that's something that I never done. In my first 50K, I was dead. I couldn't run anymore. And a guy walked up next to me and said, "Hey, you're the bacon YouTube guy." And we started talking, had a great conversation. And his timer went off. He said, "Oh, time to run." And all of a sudden, I can run with him. And so I ran with him for 2 minutes. The timer went off again. Oh, time to walk. And he was doing a run, walk, timed interval training. There are people that run marathons strictly on a run, walk, timed interval training, and they can actually PR by doing this. So this is something you want to throw in your training, even if it may not be part of your race plan going into it. It may be something that you fall back on when times get rough. A lot of times I'll do this through the night too. So another great thing about the run, walk, interval training is a lot of times when we're doing these runs, we forget to take in calories and drink and we become dehydrated or deficient on calories. So whenever it's the walking time and you're walking on the run, walk intervals, you need to drink and you need to eat. And that timer is almost a reminder for me that it's time to eat, it's time to drink. And then when that timer goes off again, then it's time to run. So that's something that you should throw into a couple of your training runs to see how it works for you. And it may not be in your race plan at all, but it may be something that you fall back on whenever times get rough. All right, tip number 4 is nutrition hydration. So this should be something that you probably heard all over the place, but my challenge to you is to log everything you eat and drink within a normal day, a normal work day. If there's a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, log that. How many calories is that? And now think, what do you plan to eat and drink during the race? How do you plan to take not as much as you take in a normal day, but take in more because you're going to be running the whole time. So a lot of times when we run these races, we're actually taking in less calories than we do on a normal work schedule because it's hard to fit those calories in while we're running. So that is something you need to have written down, planned out, and thought through. That way, when race day comes, you won't come to the end of the race with no calories, then you bonk. All right, so the fifth tip is going to be drop bags. You see these runners that are running for years, they have like little Tupperware containers that are so small and just has everything they need in it because they know what they need. I've been doing this for 4 years and I still don't know what I need, so I rock a backpack. And I get all these backpacks, and I like backpacks because there are three separate compartments. You've seen aid stations before where people like rip open a drop bag and they just start tearing through everything trying to find one little thing. So I like to be efficient about it. My first compartment is going to be my change of clothes or shoes. So I always have extra shorts, socks, shirts. When day turns to night and I have a sweaty shirt, I like to put on a dry shirt. That way, when temperatures change, I'm not wearing a sweaty shirt into the night. The second compartment is going to be your nutrition and electrolytes. So you can have salt tabs, any kind of food or drink mixes you need. Whatever you need will be in the second compartment. You should know your nutrition by now, so you can have that ready in the second compartment. And the third compartment, for me, it's up front, is going to be your electronics. So it's headphones, chargers, GoPro batteries for me, and definitely headlamps. You got to have the extra headlamps up front, so that way everything is separated, and then you can be more efficient when you go into the aid station because you'll know exactly what you need and you'll know where it's at in your drop bag. The last tip on the drop bag for me is I use athletic tape. And I will write down my name, the distance, my bib number, and the aid station I want this in. This is easy because you're not going to be the only person there with a black backpack, I guarantee it. So this is nice to identify where your bag is so you can grab it and get everything you need. All right, some bonus tips for my 100 milers out there, and I guess the 100K and other distances as well. Real food is so important. You have to take in the calories. So find out what real food works for you. Try real food on your long runs, see what works for you, and see how you can get it to the race. Does your crew need to bring it to you? Can you put it in your drop bags? For me, I am fueled by bacon. When bacon hits my belly, I just go. So 2 pounds of bacon the night before the race, and then I wrap up 5 to 6 pieces of bacon in foil. The bacon goes in every single drop bag and my pack, and I have bacon throughout the whole race. And I know that's what fuels me, and I'm able to make it work. So find what fuels you. The next thing is make it through the night. It is so easy to get tired and to feel exhausted and hungry and want to go to sleep. Push through the night. I have DNF'd 300 milers. All three of them I dropped in the middle of the night. It is so easy to lean towards the comfortable things in life when it's 1 to 2 a.m. But I promise you, if you earn your sunrise, there's a high chance you're going to earn that buckle. So make it through the night. Know things will probably get tough then, but I know you can make it through there, and that's where you're going to find the success that you're looking for. So did I miss anything? Seasoned runners watching this, if you have tips, throw it in the comments. We're all here to learn, all here to help each other. Is there something that I'm doing that I can do better? And find me on Facebook, Run Trails Eat Bacon. Let's share some conversations there of how we can make this better. Maybe there needs to be a second video. Maybe I left out so many tips that we need to have a part 2 just so we can get everyone ready for their big long races. And finally, if there is a race or a trail within driving distance of Oklahoma City that you feel needs a highlight video, let me know. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love doing. I love going to races and capturing the spirit of the race and the views and the beauty and then throwing it all into highlight videos for everyone else to enjoy. So if I'm missing anything that's in my backyard, please let me know so I can get out and capture it. And that is all I got. Thank you guys so much for hanging through this with me. And until next time, run trails and eat bacon.